For over 20 years, Ocarina of Time has been called the greatest game ever made. You've heard the legends. I've heard the legends. We all know the legacy. But here is the crazy part. Playing the original N64 version today is actually the wrong way to experience it. What you really need is the ground-up, next-gen Switch 2 remake that reliable insiders are finally pointing toward. Let me front-load this right now, so we are all on the same page. I have to be completely honest with you guys, this is still speculation. Nothing is officially confirmed by Nintendo yet. But we have some incredibly reliable guys in the industry, insiders who rarely make mistakes, hinting that a massive 3D Zelda project is brewing behind the scenes. When you look at the landscape of gaming right now, the timing is perfect. We are standing on the precipice of a new hardware generation. The original Ocarina of Time redefined what was possible in a 3D space, and it's time for that lightning to strike twice. These insiders aren't just talking about a simple resolution bump. They're talking about a transformative experience that utilizes every bit of power the Switch 2 has to offer. And I'll be real with you, I never played the original Ocarina of Time. I know. Take my gamer card. But that is exactly why I'm so hyped. I want to experience this absolute masterpiece for the very first time in the best way possible. I want to walk into the Temple of Time and feel the same awe that players felt decades ago, but with the fidelity that modern technology allows. So, why are the rumors hitting so hard right now? Makes perfect sense for the first few years of the Switch 2. Nintendo needs a massive system seller, and the full-blown Chronicles, or Rewind edition of their most acclaimed game, is the ultimate mic drop. Think about the impact of Breath of the Wild on the original Switch launch. Nintendo knows that to move units, they need a must-play title that bridges the gap between nostalgia and innovation. But if they do this, it can't just be a simple port. We need the raw power of the Switch 2. I'm talking about entirely rebuilt, breathtaking 4K visuals. I want to see Hyrule Field running at a battery smooth 60 frames per second without breaking a sweat. Imagine the Lost Woods with dense volumetric fog and rays of light piercing through the canopy, or a version of Ganondorf's castle that truly feels like a looming atmospheric threat. We're talking about textures so sharp you can see the grain in the Hylian shield and lightning effect that bring a cinematic quality to every cutscene. By the way, I just heard about these places and regions in the game. I didn't experience them myself, but I heard they are truly awesome. Since I'm looking at this with fresh eyes, I don't have those nostalgia goggles on. From everything I've seen of this classic game, it needs some modern quality of life updates from what I've heard. First, let's talk about camera control. Give us a fully mapped, free-flowing camera on the right stick. In the original, the camera was a constant battle, often requiring you to tap a button just to see what was directly in front of you. In a modern remake, we need the freedom to take in the world around us effortlessly, especially during those high-intensity boss fights. Next is streamlined menus. Nobody wants to pause the game every 5 seconds just to equip a different pair of boots or tunic. We've all seen the memes about the water temple. It's time to move past that. We need the modern quick select weapon wheel that lets us swap items on the fly without breaking the flow of the gameplay. And finally, autosaving. Bring the save system into the modern era, so we don't lose hours of dungeon progress. While the original save points had their charm, modern gaming demands a bit more respect for the player's time. Losing progress to a random power outage or a dead battery shouldn't be part of the challenge in 2026. Beyond just the technical side, Think about the potential for expanded lore. If this is truly a Chronicles edition, could we see new side quests that flesh out the supporting cast? Could we get a deeper look into the history of the Sheikah or the Gerudo? The switch to storage and processing power mean Nintendo doesn't have to cut corners anymore. They can finally build the version of Hyrule they likely envisioned back in the 90s, but couldn't achieve due to hardware limitations. The PCs are all lining up, and if these reliable sources are right, we are in for the ultimate Zelda experience. But I want to hear from you, the veterans who actually grew up with this game. Does the idea of a 4K 60fps remake excite you, or do you think the original should remain untouched? I'm reading every single comment on this one, because I want to know what I've been missing all these years. Drop a comment below and tell me the one legendary moment from the original that you need to see in 4K. Also, consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed this clip. Anyways, I was David. Bye. Have a nice day.